I have not been to Minnesota in probably 20 years.
Bring gas. Welcome to Flagrant Howls, a Minnesota Timberwolves lifestyle podcast.
All right, we're a little hopped up right now because
USA.
never a doubt, dude. Never a doubt. Team USA overcomes a 17-point deficit to Serbia. And by the way, it was like, was it 13 or 15 points in the fourth quarter at one point too?
I haven't felt that. I have no idea what's happening. My life is completely in a blender right now. I cannot believe that they won that. Anthony Edwards, not great, but just to see the guys that we grew up with. I've said this before: LeBron James, Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant. Anthony Edwards' time will come, but for now, it was all about the greats and the Hall of Famers. Joel Embiid was awesome today as well, and they basically had to play perfect in that fourth quarter to kind of stave off an embarrassing loss. I mean, this is about as good of a team as Team USA has ever had, and for them to win that thing, I haven't felt this way. Nikola Jokic-led team choking a game away like it's Game 7 against the Timberwolves. Just great Thursday here in the United States of America.
Yeah, so what's Anthony Edwards' record now in must-win elimination games against Nikola Jokic? Well, Game 7s or like where either team can be eliminated. I guess 2-0, right?
2-0, yeah. He was bad. Ant was bad in the first half, but it's okay.
He only played
sport.
like 5 or 6 minutes, and then I don't think he came in for a little bit in the second half and missed a wide open. He missed a couple wide open threes, and so we're recording this like immediately after Team USA comes back, and so we'll give our takes on that. And you've got like a couch being delivered. We just wanted to jump on, say hello. We'll do a random wolf of the week. This will probably be one of our shorter episodes, but man, even like the nostalgic NBA and NBC music that they were playing. Repping the hat here. There was just, I think you kind of nailed it. It felt like the gravity and the magnitude of the moment felt a little too big for some of the guys, including maybe Anthony Edwards. It just, especially when you're losing, and Dwayne Wade made reference, like when you're losing by 15 and it's the third quarter, every shot feels so important. And the guys that wound up sort of rising above that feeling were LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant. And Joel Embiid did dribble the ball off his leg a couple times and then like failed to grab some key rebounds. But offensively, he takes control, gets the and one. This would have been only the 5th loss since the Dream Team, since the U.S. started sending professional players in 1992. This would have been only their 5th Olympic loss. They lost the 3 in the 2004 bronze medal season. And then they lost, I think it was their first pool play game in 2020, the 2021 Olympics. So it's tough though, Kyle, because like, yes, like a loss is embarrassing for the U.S., but it's not 1992 or 1996 anymore where you're literally just playing a bunch of dudes that want your autograph during a timeout and you're just beating teams by 80 points. You're playing against legitimate, incredible players. Bogdanovich was just an assassin. That's what's crazy. I know that the U.S. actually wound up shooting a better percentage from 3 because Serbia was just like airmailing shots at the end of the game. But that was one of the craziest shooting performances I think I've ever seen the first like 2.5 quarters from Serbia. So, man, that was wild. Just like infuriating, exciting, all of the emotions in 2 hours today.
Stephen Curry finishes with 36 points,
36.
8 rebounds, 9 for 14 from 3. He basically, every time it got to 15, especially in these games, right, Phil, that are 4 10-minute quarters, a little less time, just the pace of play is amplified. The amount of time out there is a little kind of decreased. He was huge. LeBron James, 16 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists, triple-double when they need him the most. And then again, Embiid, who finished with 19 points on 8 of 11 shooting. But he was 2 for 3 from 3. And I think those threes were just massive because Jokic was basically just sitting in the paint being like, you shoot those. So, everything you said about Serbia and kind of international basketball as a whole is true. You don't need all the star power all the time to be a good team. You kind of saw what France has done. I'm sure we'll get into that a little bit with Rudy on the bench, but obviously Wembanyama is amazing and maybe the future of this sport. But they got, Nick Batum, I think, has played like 20 years in the league, and Evan Fournier and these other guys. So I love the Olympics. We've talked about that before. I love all the other sports. I think I'm blanking on what was the guy's name yesterday in the 400 that came back.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. By the way,
Like all these
Quincy was it
Quincy Hall maybe?
Quincy Hall.
Yeah, again, my brain
let's
is
put some
just
respect
totally
on his name.
in sports mode right now. But that was amazing just to see all the team events, and I love the Olympics for even this like South Sudan storyline in basketball has been great. But this is our sport. This
Quincy
has
Hall.
always kind of been our sport, and I mean they were not to get gambling speak, but they were like plus money there in the third, which is kind of rare because they were 16-point favorites. Like for the most of the first half, when they were getting kind of dog walked up and down, everyone still thought that they were going to win. Down 11 at half, they come out strong, but then they finished the third quarter still down 11. They gave them their best punch, and Jokic and his guys kind of handled it. But then just the fourth quarter again, they had to play perfect. Phil, I think Serbia was 0 for 10 from 3 in the fourth.
Yeah, they did not make it 3 in the fourth.
Just an amazing fun game. And despite a bad Ant game, you got the best of the best from LeBron, the best of the best from Steph Curry, and now you get the best basketball team in the world against the home host nation in France. Wembanyama, I mentioned Fournier, obviously Gobert. That atmosphere on Saturday is going to be... This was the best game I've watched since Game 7 of Wolves Nuggets. And I mean, I'm biased, but just that energy and that atmosphere, being on the timeline again, and it not being about politics for like 30 minutes was great Thursday here in the United States.
I'm going to get... Okay, have you been hooked on the Olympics?
Hooked.
Like, are you... Okay.
Hooked.
Me too. And it's
any
fun.
Angle you want to go.
Because Judd doesn't watch the Olympics. Judd despises the Olympics.
Someone's got to get those camp notes at Vikings practice.
That's true. Yeah, he has an excuse. He can't just be sitting around watching the Gold Zone channel on Peacock all day, like I've been for 2 weeks. But where they literally take the Red Zone channel guys from NFL and like Scott Hansen, and they do Olympic back and forth. All right, did you see the Germany-France handball gold medal game a couple days ago? The end of it.
Yep.
Where it was like. And I'm gonna explain this, and then I want you to rank 4 things for me, including one of the options is the game we just watched. So I don't know all the rules of handball, but I know that like there might be a 2-pointer. I really don't know all the rules, so I'm not going to try. But I know that France was up by 2 points on Germany with like 5 seconds to go, and Germany called timeout. And even the announcers were like, it's kind of a pointless timeout. Mathematically, it's essentially impossible to score and then get the ball back and then score again with 5 seconds left. So I don't know what they're drawing up here, but you can see the celebrations already happening here in Paris for the home team. And so sure enough, Germany comes out of the timeout. They score immediately. All France has to do is inbound the handball and like don't give it back to Germany, and the game is over. Just like throw the ball up in the air.
Yep.
It's not even like the NBA where you can foul and then they can miss free throws. And the French guy freaks out, gets nervous, loses his mind, and tries to throw a pass. Germany guy intercepts the pass with 3, 2, 1, fires a dart into the back of the net to send it to overtime. And then Germany rides the wave, and they win in overtime. And then we had the photo finish in the men's 100. Noah Lyles
incredible.
Was like in 7th place halfway through the race, and then he winds up photo finish win. So rank the comebacks. Team USA down by like 14 points in the fourth quarter to the best player in the world with a bunch of sniper 3-point shooters with the last name ending in VIC. The Quincy Hall, who looked like he was going to pass out because he was like, he emptied the tank going into turn 4. He's huffing, he's puffing, and then just finds another gear. The men's 100, and then the handball game. Most impressive comeback of the week.
I know we love basketball on this Timberwolves Lifestyle podcast, but the Quincy Hall thing just got my juices going.
It was crazy.
He was running at the end. Kind of reminded me, remember Greg Jennings in the video game? We just kind of like putting his team on his back, and he had like a weird running form. It didn't even look natural. It was just, I mean, we got to give a lot of credit to like all the women's like Olympians or gymnastics. We're so good at so many things. But it was just mind over matter. And that's kind of what I love about, like, I always know Simone Biles talks a lot about that too. It's just overcoming adversity, but overcoming your own brain sometimes. I mean, he just found a gear, Quincy Hall, that I don't know he had or if he even knew he had. So that was, I mean, as much as, again, today was awesome and I'm all juiced up and you're juiced up, Quincy Hall, what he did out there by himself was not only to get a medal, right? Because like you said, he was in 7th, and if the angle of the screen, you're like, oh my God, he's coming, he's going to get a silver. The guy that was going to win was way ahead of everyone else, and he caught him too. It was like it was a semifinal run.
It was like, imagine the hardest and most tired you've ever run at the end of like a jog or something, and you're bringing it home, and then you have another gear to get to.
Also,
that's probably number one.
Did you see? I think you left one out that should be nominated for the award, but maybe doesn't win. I think her last name is Faulkner, but she was our female or women's like cycling. And
is this like the indoor or the outdoor?
Outdoor, and she just came out of nowhere to beat the three favorites.
Okay.
And I think I've read too that she's only been cycling for, I don't know, less than a decade compared to like all these other people that have been doing their whole lives. Yeah. Her whole story, doing it in front of, in downtown Paris was I just love the Olympics. And I have to remind myself as I'm all amped up again that like August 8th, the only thing almost every year that we're looking forward to right now is like 6 reps of starters in preseason football, right? Like, or baseball. To have this much energy and these types of sports on every day for 2.5 weeks, it's been awesome, man. I love it. I love
Although,
sports.
have we gotten to the point, I feel like criticism is so loud in 2024, and it's so easy just to like revert to nitpicking things and not being fully happy. And maybe I'm just small Twitter sample size here, but that was an incredible come from behind victory. But I feel like equally as loud are people saying, like, ripping the U.S. for even being in that position, or they didn't deserve to win, or even like some Timberwolves fans disappointed that Anthony Edwards, couldn't rise to the moment in a big game. And I don't want to hear from those people today. I want to celebrate bald eagles and American flags and the Statue of Liberty and the NBA on NBC theme song blaring as LeBron James and Steph Curry celebrate.
We talk about this all the time, not only on a Timberwolves podcast, but a lifestyle podcast. It's okay to just be raw and emotional, and I know I've done it before. No, I'm not going to cry on this pod. Maybe if we win a goal, I can do it for you. But it's just, they should not. They didn't play their game. I've really enjoyed Eagle and Wade doing the call.
Dude,
on all these
Noah
games.
Eagle is 27 years old.
Yeah, he is. Him and Michael Grady of the world, like they should call every event, Super Bowl, everything. But Wade said like they weren't playing their game in the first half. And when you see Team USA, the one advantage they have is, Serbia doesn't need 12 NBA players to threaten to win a gold. But when Team USA wants to play defense, like they can play defense, they can just do hockey lineup switches, basically. You know what I mean? Like they can bring Drew Holiday and Derek White off the bench and Bam and AD. So they really locked in the fourth quarter and played their game, like Wade said. So it's just been obviously a great Olympics for all of the athletes. I mean, I've been watching some, obviously, cycling, but like skateboarding, or I'm with you, handball. I love it. I don't know why it's not a bigger sport here. Don't know the rules. Water polo. I'd be so triggered if someone like was dunking me, like I'm trying to do my thing.
Super tiring. They're just in a pool treading water and swimming back and forth.
What a great time. Great. And we need sports more than ever, right? With everything else going on. I just know that it's been fun to kind of strap in on the timeline for 30 minutes here, catch. It's kind of these injections of dopamine too, right? You could be at work or hanging out with your kids or whatever, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, the men's or the women's 100 meters is going to go off in 10 minutes. Like, all right, let me watch 30 seconds of that, and it's like free coffee, so.
It is.
You can tell I'm just loving it right now.
I know. It's a blast. So, by the way, it's going to be, I think it's like 2 or 3 o'clock Central Time on Saturday is the gold medal game between USA and France. So that'll be amazing. That'll be appointment watching TV. I think Antman's he's gonna step it up. I don't think he's gonna go out like this, because what's crazy is coming into today, he was the leading scorer, points per game on Team USA. And Judd and I went through the exercise earlier this week. If you look at guys who finished top 3 in scoring on each Team USA basketball squad, Olympic squad, going back to 1992, it is literally like, I got to find this for you, because it is. I mean, it's like it's the greatest players of the last 35 years, but it's 30 plus championships. It's 20 plus MVPs.
Right.
So I hope he finishes strong, and I hope that he doesn't sort of fade into the background with the gold medal on the line. I don't know. I don't think nothing can change what his trajectory is, but it'd be kind of cool to see him drop like 10 or 15 points and play some locks, clamp clamps defense.
That's the beauty of sports, though, too, right? Steph Curry, who was, again, 36 points today on 9 of 14 from deep. This was the first really good game he's played since this Team USA kind of was put together. He just never really had a Steph game.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like Steve Kerr really wanted to let him out of the garage, so to speak. But they needed him today, and they didn't really need Ant. Ant got those 2 good looks from 3 that he didn't hit. And the next step for Ant is to just learn what else can I do if the shot's not falling. So, today was the Steph game. They didn't need Ant. They've needed Ant a lot kind of in this whole progression since this started in Vegas. So I'm not super worried, but it was an interesting wrinkle for him again. I mean, he was up on the sidelines going crazy with Embiid, scoring and making plays. So you love to see him kind of supporting the team. But yeah, one bad game for Ant. I'm not going to be too worried. And it does set up Anthony Edwards versus Rudy Gobert, Anthony Edwards versus Victor Wembanyama, Team USA versus Team France. Just imagine if in the first 10 seconds when Ant's on the court, he does that Kobe Bryant run through Paul Gasol thing and just runs through Gobert. Can you imagine the timeline for that one?
Set the tone, dude.
Today,
by the way, August 8th, 2024, 8/8/24.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Shout out to Kobe. Speaking of just important dates, this just kind of came to my mind. What are you doing? What are you doing the last Wednesday of December?
Is that when the hearing is?
No, that's when.
Is that Christmas?
Yeah. What are you doing that day?
Well, hopefully I'm watching the Timberwolves beat the brakes off somebody on Christmas.
I think you will be.
Can we report this right now? Can we break this?
I don't report. I just jump on here in my favorite T-shirts and talk.
So you have a strong feeling that the Timberwolves are going to play on Christmas.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be at home, unfortunately, because they kind of schedule those games out. I would imagine it's going to be against a Western Conference opponent, maybe on the road. But I feel pretty confident that the Minnesota Timberwolves will finally get back on Christmas. I don't know. Maybe it
makes sense.
Maybe against Denver, maybe against Dallas. But feel pretty confident in that one.
It makes sense. You heard it here first, folks. Kyle's breaking this, but I think
if it doesn't happen, you heard it from someone else.
They do 5 games on Christmas, I think. So a third of the league gets showcased, and Anthony Edwards deserves to be showcased among the top 1/3 of the league attractions on Christmas.
Again, I don't know the opponent exactly, but why not just have Wolves Mavs, like a rematch of the Western Conference Finals on Christmas? That just makes too much sense with the Anthony Edwards versus Luka, Kyrie Irving, all that stuff. So that would be fun too. Again, just like today was, putting Anthony Edwards in more big moments and big televised games. He didn't deliver today. They didn't need him, but he's been kind of box office throughout this Team USA run. So it'd be fun, despite not having your Christmas free. But also, if you're hanging out with your relatives too much and you need 3-hour escape, just be like, hey, I got to go work. I got to go watch this game. At least that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Hey, how do you feel, before we get to a random Wolf of the Week here, how do you feel about Rudy Gobert Fingergate? So here's the latest. By the way, there's photos of him with gigantic wrap around he's got like 2 fingers taped together on his left hand. But he told reporters, because he played less than 4 minutes a couple games ago, and he told a few reporters, including Sam Amick, that he had surgery on his left ring finger earlier this week and was thankful he was able to play at all in the win against Canada. And then, the next day, the French coach was asked about it and said Rudy Gobert did not undergo surgery on injured finger. Lineup changes were based on matchups. He did have an MRI, but it was not surgery. Why did they bench Gobert? Small ball. I wanted Wemby to start at the 5 and then a bunch of shooters and smaller guys to play defense and shoot threes around him. So Rudy may or may not have had finger surgery. Definitely banged up his finger in some regard, though.
I've just enjoyed watching people once again. I heard Bill Simmons the other day say that he was turning or flip-flopping again on the Rudy Gobert trade because Rudy Gobert is not getting minutes or enough minutes for his country, even though he just came off his 4th Defensive Player of the Year in a Western Conference Finals run, a run they don't make, a top defense that doesn't exist without him. So it's like a lot of other things when, Pat Bev had his time where when he wasn't a Timberwolf, he wasn't really your guy, and then he's on your team, now he's your guy. That's how I feel about Rudy as well. So I don't know what happened with that finger. I think he had also other teammates say that he had surgery, so who knows what happened there. They've clearly played better with less Rudy on the court, but also I don't think we can. I mean, Wembanyama was 4 for 17 today. Like, it wasn't like he was dropping 30 and 15. So they might have just found something by letting their guards who have been really bad. I thought, I mean, Team France has looked really good the last couple games, but they almost didn't beat Japan, which would have made them not qualify for the medal round. So, the guards are cooking. They have a little more space. I've always joked, I think Rudy Gobert would love for Mike Conley to have French citizenship because no one knows how to play with him, to use his screens on offense. But it is kind of the Wembanyama show. I do think that they're just going to have to play Rudy more in that next game because I don't know. I mean, didn't Embiid drop 70 once this past season on Wembanyama? So it's not like they're just going to have him guard him straight up. But it'll be a very, very... That atmosphere today with Team France making that run has been incredible for not only just a basketball fan, but just a fan of the Olympics or a fan of any of this stuff. So Saturday is going to be one of the more impressive sporting events we'll have all year, right? And I would imagine you'll see more Rudy, whether he has 10 fingers or 9 fingers in that game.
Yeah, I'm just worried that this finger injury is going to make it hard for him to catch passes in the lane this season. So I'm just a little worried that, Well, we'll see. I don't know. Maybe he'll heal up. This is Judd's worst nightmare, by the way. Rudy Gobert injuring himself in international play. So
hey, let me give you one question. I just had this in my notes. We did promise people we were going to do Timberwolves top 100 today.
Yeah,
that got kind of derailed by.
We didn't look at the Team USA schedule, and
that's on me.
It'll be either next week or the week after. 100%.
We need it carved out for we need a whole week to really investigate it and debate it. But I do want to just keep this really short. But I've always wanted to ask you, as a star of Minnesota media, and you cover all the teams. This is a debate I was having with my neighbor the other day. I'm waiting for a couch to be delivered.
Is your couch here?
Let's pause on that question. Let's just go right to random over the week. A little.
Oh, the couch is here.
Week.
The couch is here. Oh, look at this. You're gonna get a question from Kyle next week and a top 100 list. Look at the teases here. So hold on,
Come back,
producer Ross. We're bringing him in real quick. I just want to tell the audience we are giving away a 75-inch Roku Pro Series 4K TV on the SKOR North app. It's an $1,800 value. You can register to win on the SKOR North app. Listener rewards. It's all free. If you want to win a 75-inch Roku Pro Series 4K TV, that might fit well in the new Theige household, actually. A 75-inch 4K Roku TV.
I think I'm so nervous, boys. If you're watching on YouTube, you just saw me get the chills. I don't know if I'm nervous about Kyle's couch being delivered or just this random wolf of the week.
We have no furniture right now, so I know people are like, dude, it's just a couch. I have nowhere to sit. I watched the entire Team USA game standing up. So this is a big moment, and again, it's off season, so bear with me. But once this thing kicks off in October, maybe the Wolves will play on opening night. We'll all be lucky, but I'll have the studio set up. But for now, I just live in a white wall echo chamber without any furniture.
You're battling, and we appreciate it.
So here's how Random Wolf of the Week works. Kyle has a 17-9 lead on me all time. Ross throws out clues, and we can shout out guesses whenever we want. If one of us hits a third incorrect guess, the other one wins automatically. We do get a heat check guess after the first clue. The last handful of Random Wolves are Jeff Teague, Felton Spencer, Kevin Love, Michael Williams, and Kata Bates Diop. All right, Roscoe. No Googling. Here we go.
No Google, use your noodle.
That's right.
This Random Wolf of the Week, boys, never played for an Eastern Conference team. Never played in the NBA's Eastern Conference. Heat check, Kyle Theige.
Wesley Johnson.
No.
Never played for an Eastern Conference team. Dean Garrett.
No. We're on to question number 2. Clue number 2. This Random Wolf of the Week played in over 700 career NBA games. Jot that down. That may come in handy. Tells you it's probably a pretty darn good player.
Does it?
Well, or good enough. This Random Wolf of the Week.
He did play for the Wolves, so.
Again, fair point. This Random Wolf of the Week has his college jersey retired.
Interesting, okay.
So his jersey is retired. This Random Wolf of the Week played college basketball in Carolina. Carolina.
In Carolina. But Carolina's like two different potential.
Yeah, that's
places.
what Ross is heating up now. He knows how to play this
In
game.
Carolina.
Yep, I knew it.
Which Carolina? Okay.
In a Carolina. Hashtag one Carolina.
Okay.
Moving along for Kyle for the second week in a row, by the way. Jeez, Kyle. This random wolf of the week is 6'7" tall. 6'7", played basketball in hashtag one Carolina. This random wolf of the week is now part owner of the Brisbane Bullets of the National Basketball League.
What?
Part owner of the Brisbane Bullets.
Sorry, the NBL.
National Basketball League.
Well, Shane Heal's shorter than 6'7", so that rules him out.
He's also been used. This random
That's true.
wolf of the week was born in 1983.
Okay, so
On April 1st of 2009, this random wolf of the week scored 50 points in a losing effort against the Golden State Warriors. He was, however, not currently playing for the Timberwolves. But he does have a 50-point game.
Oh, okay. Okay, you clarified that. Shout out to Corey Brewer and Mo Williams.
This random wolf of the week last played in the NBA in the 2015 and 2016 season.
okay, so he's not exactly playing 80 games a year here. Not exactly Mr. Durability.
This might shock you boys, but this random wolf of the week never went to the playoffs with the Timberwolves.
Yeah, between the years that you're looking at, not a whole lot of trips.
Not a lot. Not a
I
lot.
just realized I'm writing all my notes on my Goodwill tax receipt. So I hope that's how much if anyone's wondering how much my life is in chaos right now.
Any good donations?
Oh man, just a Jeep full. But
The tax receipts out there in Oregon look a lot bigger than the ones they give you here in Minnesota. I'll just point that out. This random wolf of the week played in 146 games for the Timberwolves. This random wolf of the week, beep, 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 here comes that couch. This random wolf of the week averaged 17.4 points per game during his NBA career.
Wow.
oh wow. Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. It's pretty good.
This might help Kyle out. It all depends. This random wolf of the week went 26th overall in the 2004 NBA draft.
Oh, man.
This random wolf of the week shares his last name on the Timberwolves all-time roster with two other players. Three players with the same last name.
Kevin Martin.
I was going to guess that. Is that right?
That is really freaking impressive. That is
Wow.
And they're here. The truck is here.
It's here.
The cameras are backing up. Walk off.
Dude, nice job.
That's it,
Nice
I'm
job,
done.
Kyle. There he goes. USA. USA.
USA. That was
man.
impressive. That was a tougher one. Good
Dude,
work for Kyle.
I was gonna guess Kevin Martin after the 17 points per game clue. But then I was like, Brisbane? And then I thought that he was shorter than 6'7", so I just didn't guess. This is a lesson learned, kids. Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
How good? Now, obviously, he would have been diminished, but let's say you have that form of Kevin Martin on the current Minnesota Timberwolves. So helpful to the roster.
He defense very optional for Kevin
but he
Martin.
can shoot.
But if he could come in for like
outside
15,
shoot.
20 minutes and gun some threes, yeah, they could have used him.
I was very excited when they signed him. I really thought that was going to work out better than it did. Story of about 20 years of Timberwolves basketball.
Yeah, it didn't work out terribly, right? They were feisty enough, but yeah, kind of a hollow offensive player. Nice job today. Great clues.
Do you want to guess very quickly the other teams that he played for in the Western Conference?
Oklahoma City, Sacramento. Oh, man. Right? I got those two right, didn't I?
You're missing the
and
big
how many
one.
other
Well,
teams?
one of the other big ones. There's two.
Timberwolves, Kings, Rockets.
Correct.
Kings, Thunder, Rockets, Wolves.
Spurs.
Spurs.
Yep, there you go. Good work.
Let's go.
Bonus
Do I get a point? Do I get a point for that?
You get a half a point. Half a point.
I get a moral victory. All right. That's a wrap here on Flagrant Howls. Nice work, executive producer of Flagrant Howls, Ross Brendel. Kyle he's giving me live text updates from the driveway. Very excited about his new couch here. This is a Timberwolves lifestyle podcast, dang it. We'll see you guys next week.